Good morning, good evening. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic week. So quite a few beautiful snakes have shed. Just want to share a few updates with you guys on them. And this is the Argentine boa, probably my favorite locality snake, although I do love the red tails. There's just something special to me about just a natural looking black and white Argentine boa. So she is about 4 years old. And they are a little bit difficult to find, so if you're in the market for one, if one does pop up, I would definitely buy one very quickly. They're very hard to find under $700. Normally they're about $900 to $1,200. If you find them for less than that, it's probably just somebody just wanting to sell them super fast. Nothing wrong with that. I saw a whole litter with a whole bunch of kinks in the tail. If that's not an issue to you, I think I saw them for like $600 or $700 on Morph Market. But I think like a really nice nothing wrong with it is about for, it depends. They're more for females, obviously, just like every other snake, but just a gorgeous black and white Argentine. There's very nice Max Pink line, which is kind of like this, a little bit lighter, I do believe. And then they do have the red and the pink blushings down the body, which they do look phenomenal, but again, you're going to be paying a pretty penny for those. It's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's just a very, very pretty snake. Unfortunately, only a few certain breeders do work with these, so that's kind of what drove the pricing up on them. And then the last time I checked, they are a endangered species down in South America because the humans are overpopulating their natural habitat, so we're kind of driving them out of their natural homes and or just killing them, I guess. So it's very, very sad because they are gorgeous animals. And she does have a little bit of an attitude when she's in her cage. I kind of have to fight with her to get her out, but when she's out, she's good. She's not too bad. I don't know if I would trust her 100% around my face and letting her, get around my neck or anything like that, just because I would not want to take a bite from her. And she has been known to strike at me, not out of her cage, but just in her cage. And so I just personally don't want to take that risk. There's some snakes that I would trust, and she's definitely not one of them. But if you guys are interested in Argentine, this is what they look like as adults. And a lot of people do try to crossbreed with the BCIs and the pure red tails into them to make them a little bit lighter. You can see some of the boa saddles on them, and then their tails are a little bit redder. So this one has a pretty much an all dark tail, so you can tell that she is a pureblood Argentine. So we'll check out the Burmese, a few very nice boas that came out of shed, and then maybe one or two ball pythons. Alright, so this is a pearl Burmese python, and she's definitely shedding out quite often now since she is growing, and I'm feeding her a little, I would say medium. They're medium rats, but they're very large medium rats. So I haven't gotten her quite up to the large rats yet, but I think she's almost there. I think a few more mediums, and then I will bump her up into the larges. So you can see she has hit a very nice growth spurt over the last 2 months. So I'm very excited to see what she will look like at the end of this year. I would assume she's going to double or triple in her size. So she is a little over 2 years old. And you can see on her body that she just looks really, really nice. No bone structure showing, just all muscle. And I love the pearl. So the pearl is the hypo and the albino mixed together. So a lot of people do like them combined, or individual, I would say. And I do like the albinos as well, but just the colorations and the patterns on the pearls are just phenomenal. And I think you can find them for about $400 or $500 for a female, which is really not a bad price at all for just a really pretty snake. And I had to work with her quite a bit when she was a baby, which I think is common. I'm told that they can be a little bitey, but she still does hiss a lot when I try to pull her out of a cage, which is, again, normal, I've heard, for them until they get a little bit bigger, and then they kind of calm down and then get pretty lazy. So from what I'm told, this is my first Burmese python. And I'm told once they get bigger that they're just like a gigantic ball python. They get lazy, they really don't do much. They're easy to handle, they're very gentle. If you hold them correctly, you shouldn't have any problems with them. But again, I'm very excited to see her growth this year now that she's definitely eating very well. And she just came out of shed probably 2 or 3 days ago, so her colorations just look very, very nice. I don't know. To me, like her spotting looks kind of like a giraffe. I don't know. Maybe it looks a little bit something different to somebody else. But she was having issues rubbing on her head a couple months ago, so I put her in a smaller enclosure, a PVC enclosure, and then everything was looking very, very well. Her scales came back, so no scale loss or permanent damage at all on her. So just a phenomenal snake. Very, very excited. And I'm going to have to soon build her 8-foot enclosure, so that should be exciting. Alright, let's look at the boas. For now, this girl shed out. She's a VPI jungle and she is gorgeous. So I love the colorations on her. I love the pattern all the way down her body. And I like the marking on top of her head. And of course her tail just looks phenomenal as well. Very, very pretty. Markings, nice bright red. So the VPI is a incomplete albino. And then you can see obviously the jungle patterns on her. So she's wanting to get away a little bit, explore, which is perfectly fine. But she is a 2021 on adult mice right now. So she just gets better and better every time she sheds out. So it's very exciting. I'm excited to see her grow up. And this girl right here just shed. I do need to clean her cage. But this is a butter clown or a lesser clown. I still don't know if some people say that they're the exact same, but then some people say that there's a little bit some differences of them because of the name. But I don't know. It's either a butter or a lesser. It really doesn't matter to me. But I think she looks really nice. Probably one of my favorite clowns. But unfortunately, almost all ball pythons, when they're born, they're super vibrant, very bright in color. And then as they age, they most likely dull out. So she has kept a lot of her nice colorations, a lot of nice patterns on her. But she's definitely not as bright or as vibrant as she was almost 2 years ago when I bought her. But she is almost up to 800 grams, eating very well. And we'll just look at this girl right here because a lot of people do like her. So this is a fire Enchi clown. And the one good thing about the fire gene is the fire gene will help prevent a lot of the dulling of the color, even though it will dull out. It won't dull out as much as if it didn't have the fire. So, very pretty girl. Can't wait for a couple years until she can breed. I am having an issue right now with one of my snakes that is almost at 900 grams. And she did not eat last week. She wrapped the food, but she did not eat. So I've heard that a lot of snakes, especially the PIEDs, when the females hit around 900 to 1,000 grams, they kind of go off food for a little bit, and then they go right back on food and don't have any more issues. So I think that's what's happening with her. But she has a lot of nice black little dots on her, and then every time she sheds, more and more of those kind of show up randomly. So it's kind of cool. Got a couple other snakes that are going into shed. So the IMG Motley is going into shed. And then the IMG VPI is also in blue. So she's a little hard to see and she gets very, very cranky when she's in blue. So I don't like to mess with her. She does like to bite a little bit. But that's really it. So just want to show you guys those snakes, and they shed out and they just look phenomenal. So appreciate the support on the channel. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful evening or morning. I'll see you guys on the next video.